So, from the brink of destruction to whispers of peace, all in what, less than 48 hours? It's just incredible. This past weekend, the whole world was holding its breath. We had the standoff between Trump and Iran, and it really seemed like it was heading for disaster. So you have President Donald Trump in a move that's, become his trademark. He just issues this stark ultimatum on social media. He tells Iran they have 48 hours to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And if they don't, he said the U.S. would, and I'm quoting here, hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Wow, the threat was just chillingly clear, right? The language was absolute, and you could see global markets just bracing for impact. But then you get this total whiplash. The whole story just gets flipped on its head. So today, we're breaking down this high-stakes gamble from Trump, the threat, which is a potential war crime, and this stunning pivot that honestly looks less like diplomacy and a lot more like something Vladimir Putin would do. Okay, so first things first, let's be absolutely clear about what that threat means. Targeting a country's civilian power grid, that isn't just an aggressive military move. It's a clear violation of international law. The Geneva Conventions are literally designed to prevent this exact scenario. You can't target infrastructure that is indispensable to the survival of a civilian population. Think about it. A nation's power grid is like its circulatory system. You shut it down, and it's not just the lights going off. It means hospitals go dark, life support machines fail, water purification plants stop working, heating systems go cold. The harm to ordinary people is, well, it's devastating, and it's predictable. Under international law, this would almost certainly be judged excessive compared to any military gain you could think of. And Trump's, cavalier threat to obliterate the biggest one first, it really suggests an indiscriminate campaign of collective punishment, not some precise lawful military operation. So, with that threat looming and his 48-hour deadline just ticking away, global markets were getting ready for a Black Monday. Bombing Iran's infrastructure would bring retaliation from Iran on the Gulf states. In return, it would trigger total economic chaos. And then, the pivot. Just hours before his deadline was up, and this part is crucial, right before markets were set to open, Trump posts again. He announces a sudden 5-day pause on said military strikes, and the reason he gives? Very good and productive conversations with Iran. The effect was immediate. Exactly what you would predict. Oil prices, which had been soaring, they plunged. Stock futures shot straight up. All that panic that had been building all weekend just, poof, it evaporated. On the surface, yeah, it looked like a masterful de-escalation, but was it real? Well, Iran's response came fast, and it was furious. The speaker of the Iranian parliament, Mohammad Bakir Ghalibaf, he publicly called it fake news, and then he delivered this really pointed accusation. He said these fabrications were being used to manipulate the financial and oil markets. The Iranian Foreign Ministry then followed up, just flatly denying any direct talks at all. So you have this classic who do you believe dilemma, but the context here is everything. The timing, the timing of Trump's announcement wasn't a coincidence. It was surgical. It was an intervention aimed directly at the financial markets he had personally spooked just a day before. So the accusation of market manipulation, it's a serious one. And in this case, the circumstantial evidence is just incredibly strong. So where does this leave us? Well, Trump successfully created an off-ramp from a crisis he made himself. He backed himself into a corner with that ultimatum, and then, it really seems, he just invented a diplomatic breakthrough to escape. But in doing all that, his position has gotten weaker, not stronger. His credibility is even more damaged, and this is the most critical part, Iran has not backed down. They called his bluff, they publicly shamed him, and they've shown zero indication that they're going to yield to his threats. If anything, they seem emboldened, not intimidated. That original 48-hour ticking clock? It's just been replaced by a new 5-day one. What happens when that time is up? A leader can't just cry secret talks forever. By kicking the can down the road, Trump might have avoided an immediate market crash, but he's really intensified the underlying geopolitical standoff. He's probably lost leverage and made a future, more serious confrontation even harder to avoid. So here's a question I want you to think about. When a single social media post can move global markets by billions of dollars and bring economies to the verge of disaster, what is the long-term cost of using diplomacy as a performance? And ultimately, who pays the price for the instability it creates?